All right, get this going. I'm just gonna start freestyling on the bag for this whole workout. See what we're gonna be doing. Gotta warm up a little bit first. A lot of times I warm up just on ones and twos, so we'll do a little bit of running in place first today. Jumping jacks in there. I should have pulled my resistance bands out. That would have been good for a warm up. Well, I have these. Let's see here. I have that's quite shaped right for what I wanted to do. It's something I want to do for my shoulders. This ain't quite right. Because it held it real tight together. So I have an issue in my right shoulder. External rotation. One of the things I'm supposed to fix the issue is my right shoulder. So if I feel like doing something like that during the warm-up, would be a smart idea. I'll start doing that just to make sure I do it regularly. Just try to get full range of motion back in my right shoulder. Yeah. This one's my right side. Sometimes it's reversed in the lives. Let's see, I've seen this done. This is one of them. One of the exercises that's supposed to help with that shoulder. Keep tension on the resistance bands. Go up all the way over the head. As far back as you can. Okay, I'm going to go back to just regular warming up now. Alright, hit the bag a little bit. Look over there. Alright. Three minutes warming up so far. Feel pretty warm. Need to make sure my legs are ready to go before I start throwing high kicks. Let's do some swing kicks. Oh, here's something I forgot. I'm supposed to be testing a microphone. Completely forgot. I may change it up. What'll be interesting is seeing the difference in the sound after I hook up the microphone. Let me see if I can hook up the microphone without turning the live off. Because I'm supposed to be testing the microphone today. Completely forgot about that. Let me see if I can get this on here. Get it set up. Hopefully it has no issues with me connecting it after I've gone live. Because yeah, I legit completely forgot to do this. Hold on, let me get all my pieces together, okay? It's not much. Huh. Well, you know, I get warmed up first. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be testing the microphone for my workout today. So I'll get it set up and I'll go back to it. Okay, this is the one that goes on me. This is the one that goes with the phone. Okay. You turn them on. There we go. I believe that's on, right? Okay, that one's on. All right, I need cable C to C. I need a C to C cable. Which I might have to go borrow one from the other room. Hold on, folks. I'll be right back. I gotta get a cable to connect my microphone I'm supposed to be testing, and I'll jump right back into it. Stick around. I'm gonna keep you on. Be right back. Gotta grab something to make this work. All right, I got my cable, and I'm going to hook this up so I can get the microphone hooked up and ready. All right. C. All right, I got to hook it into the phone, okay? I'm going to test the microphone today in my workout. I meant to hook this up before going live, but I completely forgot. All right, can you guys hear me okay? I'll move away from the phone and make sure we still can hear. All right, can you guys hear me okay? This should be on. Does it sound better than it did before I used the microphone? See if I can get it connected to my shirt and we're gonna start working out again. So I warmed up for about 4 minutes and then realized, oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be testing the microphone. Went and grabbed all my stuff. It's just like a warm up and then I'll stop for 3 minutes. I think I'll be all right though. Hey, anybody listening? Want to tell me if the microphone sounds good? I can't tell what it sounds like on here. Not until after I'm done recording. Unless one of you guys give me a thumb up. Now right now I'm up on the phone, so you might be able to hear me through the phone audio too. I'm not sure. But I know from back here, it should mostly be from this speaker here. I'll whisper, can you hear me? So anyway, I'm gonna get back on hitting the bag, okay? Gonna have a workout, test this microphone out, see how it goes. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. If this microphone works out great, I'll start using it in most of my follow along workout videos. Make sure I still have the camera set up right. You can see me. Let me do a slight adjust. Have you too much on the wall. Gotta make it where you can see as much of the room as possible. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get back into it. It's going on the bag. See how this goes. Hopefully this microphone stays clipped good and hopefully it sounds good. Do a few high kicks to get loosened up with those. That one's high-ish. That one went high. There we go. You can get a workout just there. Just from doing your kick back and forth. Don't even have to be super fast paced. Still a good workout. Picking your feet up that high. The only thing I don't like right now about this microphone is the way it swings around on me. When I was punching, I was swinging around, slapping me in the chin. So I need to experiment, see if it works better in different spots. You know what I'm saying? So I'll try it with it here. I think it's slightly better with it directly under me. It still isn't the best. I wonder if I can make it clip straight onto the shirt. So ball up the shirt. See if it'll just clip straight on. Oh yeah, and then have one more spot to try. Try putting it on my waistband. That actually might be way better. But let me see what, yeah, I think that's gonna be a thing to do. Stick it on the waistband, because me and my buddy were testing this the other day, and it seemed like you could still hear perfectly well, even when he put it on his belt, or not put it on my belt, and walked away from the camera. You could still hear it pretty good all the way from down there. This might be the best place for me to do it with these exercises. I don't know, let's see. How's it going, buddy? Can you hear me okay on the microphone? Can you hear me all right? All right. Hey, don't kick with your toes. You either kick with your shin, or you can even kick with your instep. That's how the karate taekwondo guys do it. The shin is the strongest bone of the leg. That's why Muay Thai and MMA, most of the time they kick with their shin. Even though you will sometimes still see them kick with their instep, and you will see them kick with the top of their foot, but that's because they have missed because their opponent's moving away. Because your opponent's not stationary, he's moving away. I've seen a lot of people get knocked out, and the shot that landed was the top of the foot, just because the guy was moving away, trying to get away from the kick. You know, he may have been aiming with the shin or the instep, considering, particularly thinking of a MMA karate guy, he might have been aiming with the instep, I'm not sure. But the guy was moving backwards, and luckily he didn't hurt his foot or nothing, so you have to keep that in mind too when you throw. Don't throw to the skull, that's the hardest part of the head. So don't throw to that part, you know. I'm thinking like jawline. It's hard there too, but it's not the same as up here, you know. Like jawline's a good spot to land with a kick, or even up here behind the ear. So does the microphone sound okay? This is my first time testing it out in a workout. I got it connected to my hip. Yeah, this seems like the best place to put it, as long as you can hear me okay. Can you guys hear me okay? That was a little different. So he's winging it, doing because of mine. I've never done that kick before. It's like, you know, your double action. But I did it with oblique kick. That's weird. But I don't think, yeah, I don't think you'd be expecting that. Tell you what, jammed up on that spin side. Let's see, can you guys hear me? You might let me know. You can hear me good? Okay, all good, good. Thank you. Yeah, my buddy over at the Hank Russell Imitation Podcast loaned this microphone to me because he wants to help me improve my sound. Good buddy of mine. That was a slow switch kick. Let's speed it up. Or you can even just don't telegraph, just pick up. It's hard to get, it's more difficult to get as much power on the stationary, but it's also less of a telegraph. So you gotta pick and choose. Less of a telegraph to make it easier to land on somebody that's blocking all your shots, or the switch so you can load up more power. I recommend practicing both. Because if you practice both, you can even practice getting extra power on your lead leg. Though it probably won't ever be the same as a switch kick. Because you're essentially turning that lead leg into a turning kick when you do the switch, because now your feet are switched. And I usually don't do that drastic of a switch. I probably was just doing it. But usually, instead of going that drastic of one, I'm trying to go faster. So instead of going like that, I usually go more like that. More parallel, and then I just immediately throw just because it's faster, right? So I copied that off of the guy that trains Muay Thai, who used to teach my fitness kickboxing classes that I go to. That's the way he liked to do it, because he didn't like the huge telegraph on his switch kick, so he would just go halfway and he'd go. Yeah, he's pretty good at Muay Thai, that guy. Taekwondo guy, so coming in here, a lot of things to try to tweak and fix. Because Taekwondo, it can be really good, but it also can teach you a lot of mistakes because you're out there training punches like this, you right? You're getting a horse stance and they punch like this. Karate does the same thing, you know, and which might lead you to doing this stuff when you're fighting, you know, which you don't want to do that. You want it up. By the way, I'm just winging it on this bag. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to throw. Not really. I'm just coming up to it and throwing whatever comes out. Sometimes it makes it a little sloppier when I throw without thinking about it. But it's a lot of fun to just wing it and go up and just feel it out and throw what you feel. I'll think about it every now and then, but a lot of times I just go, you know. Everybody still here? Everybody doing good? All right, awesome. Yeah. It looked like I was kicking my toes earlier. I'm guessing when I landed on the bag, it probably landed kind of up high. I imagine that's what you're talking about. It probably landed up high like that. Happens sometimes. No, you want to know something weird? The way they break boards, in Taekwondo at least, or at least they used to, with a round kick, is they pull the toes back and kick with the ball of the foot. Wild, right? But yeah, I've broken boards that way before. I wouldn't want to now. It's been so many years. My toes don't pull back as far as they used to. I wouldn't want to do that, you know? So, no thank you. No thank you. That last punch, you couldn't see from there, but you landed with the wrong knuckles. Gotta watch out for that. Give yourself a boxer's fracture. You gotta land with those first two. I landed over there with those last two. Oh no, you don't wanna do that. You wanna land with the first two. Ooh, I pulled that kick. If you're gonna throw power shots in the bag, especially with your straight punches, absolutely make sure you make a tight fist. Protect the structure, right? Because you don't want anything to give out. Throw that punch, you don't want your wrist to give out. I'm putting my whole body into it, right? So I gotta make sure, keep a tight fist, or else your wrist might buckle. That wouldn't be good. Catch my breath for a second, and then spinning. How's everybody doing? And it does. Hit subscribe if you're new. We got lots of free workouts on this channel. It's not just watching me hit the bag all the time. Follow along fitness kickboxing workouts, where even though the majority of it is striking the bag, for those workouts, because that's what's the most fun. In those workouts, I still make you do squats, push-ups, burpees, all that fun stuff. But I make it where most of it is hitting the bag, because that's the fun part of fitness kickboxing, right? Boom. Boom. Flying knee. Boom. All right. Boom. Practice. both sides. I like to practice both sides. Now, if something happens on the bag that wouldn't happen on an opponent, you need to fly knee on here, you're getting stuck, right? Because the bag don't move really. So you kind of get stuck on it when you practice on the bag. Keep in mind that wouldn't happen really on an opponent. Or if you have a bob, you know, one of the things that looks like people, you could do that and go up and hit the chin, and your foot might get free from that. I'm not sure. I'm hoping to get one day. I like those things. Another thing that I sometimes find myself trying to practice now is when I throw my punch, instead of just keeping my head here like this, sometimes I like to go whoo and whoo, because to try to make it where my head doesn't stay on the center line, try to move it so that this guy countering me, it's harder for him to hit me. It's especially hard for this guy to hit me because he don't got no arms. I missed that elbow. More than one way to throw your turning round kick too. A lot of times the way I like to throw it, I just pick up and get my pivot on the way. All right. Back in the day in Taekwondo, they taught us to do that so that you're not telegraphing by stepping. But if the step works for you, it's fine. You can step and then throw your kick. That's the way Boss Rutan prefers. Boss Rutan prefers to do a step because he feels like he can get more power on it that way than he can from a pivot. I was listening to him talk about it. So because of that, he likes to do the step and smack. And I think he might be right about the power, because that does feel stronger than this. So I think he's right about the power aspect. But the other way, where you spin the ball your foot, less of a telegraph. So just like what I was saying about the front kick versus, the lead kick versus switch kick earlier, you're choosing between less telegraph and more power. So it's up to you in your situation. Gotta keep going. I'm glad this mic sounds good, even with my shirt covering it up. That means this is gonna work great. I need to do some pre-recorded workouts now that I have a microphone like this to use. It's gonna be really good. One, two, one, slip, slip, roll, hook. 1, 2, 1, slip, slip, roll, hook, kick. Try something like that. Make sure my hands come back up to my face. I might have been messing up a few times. Ooh, I feel like I'm slowing down. Just need some breath. Now get back into it. And one thing I always say when you're doing the pre-recorded workouts especially, I always tell people, if you want to take a break, just keep moving. Don't go sit down. If you go sit down, you may not get back up, get back into it. that you can gotta bounce like that. You can walk, you can pace, catch your breath. I like to bounce like I'm a character from Street Fighter. This way I can catch my breath, but keep my energy levels up nice and high. Also, when I catch my breath, see somebody coming, I can take a look. I go to a fitness kickboxing class. That's about it. I used to go to a taekwondo school back in the day. And I tried to adjust some of that to try to improve and mix some of the stuff I learned from fitness kickboxing to the Muay Thai guys in. So I've actually taught taekwondo before. That was a long time ago. Here I are. But yeah, most of my training and skill came from way back in the day in taekwondo. That's where the majority of it came from. But you know, even though I got out of class for many, many years, I never stopped practicing at home. You know, I didn't do it every day. You know, like now I'm practicing probably more at home than I ever have in the past, and starting this YouTube channel. But yeah, because I got my now taekwondo, you get your black belts faster, and you're doing some other martial arts. So I got my taekwondo 3rd degree back in like 2003 or something. But it's then a couple years later, it wasn't in a martial arts class for a decade after that. So my school got bought out by karate guys. Trained with them for a couple of years. Then they decided they were no longer going to honor the contracts from the school they bought out, because I was paid for to go for life. And when they originally bought it out, they said they're going to honor all the old contracts. They quit doing that, said give us money. So I had to bounce. Couldn't afford them at the time. Oh, I missed. You see that? I missed. That'll happen if you don't look, right? I was looking like over here when I threw my kick, so I missed. Get your head all the way around. Look at your target, right? If you look at your target, you'll hit your target. Chances are. If you don't look at your target, you're probably going to miss your target. All right? Stand up. Gotta get the distance just right for those kicks. These kicks are just a lot of fun. Not necessarily one you'd use in a match. But you never know. Sometimes if the situation calls for it, maybe he's running away from you. Yeah, my distancing was not right. Still not quite. A little too far away. A little better. I'm still not landing on my shin. Okay, much better with distancing. Sorry if sometimes it's hard to understand me. I'm trying to talk while I'm exercising, and sometimes I talk too fast. One, two, 5, 2, 3. Only thing about that I feel like I'm doing that's not right. That's what I'm doing. 1, 2. Then I throw my 5, 2. I feel like my hand's coming back to here instead of here. And then 3. I'm sure that's probably what's happening. So I need to work on that and make it where I go 1, 2, 5, 2, 3. Which means slow down a little bit. But sometimes you you can't work on those techniques if you're just going full speed, because all you're thinking about is getting that fist back out there. So you got something to work on. Slow it down a little so that you can, so that you will. And then once you got it, once you've worked on it enough, you can pump it back up to full speed. Once you have programmed yourself to bring the hand back up, or whatever it is you're trying to work on. I think I see somebody with a new comment. Oh, thank you, buddy. Hey, if you manage to get a bag, it's great to practice on. If you have a bag, you can do a lot to train on a bag. And if you record yourself, you can go back and look at your own flaws. It's helped me improve since the start of this channel because I can see my own flaws. We're having a mirror, and if you don't have a bag, it's okay. You can shadow box. I think it's better to have a bag, but there's no reason you can't do it in the air if you got to. I knew that was gonna fall. Just doing that to try to improve the lighting. Got a lot of light coming in that window. Anyway, yeah, new people to the channel, subscribe, and when you get a chance, go look at the pre-recorded workouts, okay? I do a lot of talking in these lives, a lot of speaking. The pre-recorded workouts, it does teach technique, but it's mostly about fitness. But it still teaches you. Almost every time I have you do step up side kick in that, in one of those workouts, I usually break it down. Put your stand on points away from where you're striking. Your knee and foot come up as sideways as possible and fire out and back in. You know, so. And a couple of things I'm working on to get the crispiness back in my side kick. You know, side kick was super crisp back in Taekwondo, and not quite as crisp today, but I'm getting it back. But the thing about the side kick, right? Two things is extending all the way and turning your hip over, and then also pulling your foot back. A lot of people, they throw that side kick. For one, they don't extend all the way. They stop here, and then they don't pull the foot back. They just drop it. If you do that, somebody can hook your foot. It's harder to hook your foot if you pull it back. If you pull it back the way it went in, it's real harder to catch. It's still gonna be caught, but it's way harder. Something else I like to do, a little scoot. Like say I'm slightly too far away to kick them. I can push off my back leg and scoot. I like doing that. It's just a little scoot, like just a little tiny one. Probably not even that much. I feel like when I throw it, I feel like I'm letting the force of my kick kind of pull me a little bit. I don't think that's really what's happening, but it's what it feels like. I think it's just because I'm doing it at the same time as throwing the kick, and I'm scooting forward and make sure I'm too far away. Too far away? Well, just barely. Now, a little farther back, right? Too far away? Okay, good. And so I'm going to scoot in. Just a little scoot. It doesn't have as much power as a step up, but that's one of those things, again, if you're trying not to telegraph. You might be going up against somebody that's blocking all your shots, and you got to telegraph less. My knee's been a little stiff the past few days. Try to keep my workout going, but I want to check on you guys, see what's going on. Oh yeah, I know. The sun's backwards because you're in a live, and on these lives, it mirrors it for some reason. This is my right hand, but to you it looks like the left. So yeah, it mirrors it on the live. Now maybe it wouldn't if I had my camera turned around the other way. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I have the front facing camera on these so that I can look over and make sure I'm still in frame. Because on these vertical lives, it doesn't give you as wide open as a frame, you know, as you would from a horizontal, right? If I do my workout videos, I do it horizontal, and I film it with the cameras from the other side because they're better cameras. The lives, YouTube pushes the vertical lives and not the horizontal, so I gotta do the vertical lives, or else you guys would have never seen it. And I noticed that it flips, it mirrors everything. So right now, it looks backwards to you, but this is my left hand, this is my right. So, y'all, you guys all thought I was a southpaw. But I do like to switch stances sometimes. I'm still better from a regular stance. But back in the day, when I actually got to spar, I would switch stances all the time just because it confused people. And it wasn't so much that it was just that my stance was like this and theirs was still like this. They would usually move their stance too. It's an open and a closed stance, right? And they, I don't remember which is which, but the one where both of you have your left foot in front, right? I think that's closed stance, I think. And then when one person switches, then it's open. And I could be remembering that wrong. Correct me if you know. And they would want to switch back the other way, regardless of which foot was in front. I'd noticed that back in sparring, not fighting pros or nothing, just the Taekwondo people, right? So, I've never had a professional fight. Not really something I want to do now. I'm too old for that. I'm at the age that people start retiring, so it'd be silly for me to start. I'm just going to train, you know? Even though I feel like I'm up there near the top I've ever been, only way slower than I was when I was younger. I used to be a speed demon that never got tired. I'll tell you what, I would just go and overwhelm people in sparring is what I used to do, because I would just keep on striking. Like when other people would throw like a 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 or something, I just wouldn't stop hitting as long as they were close enough to me I could strike them. And they tried to back away, I would usually keep coming forward and try to put the pressure on them. And that worked really well against a lot of people. It even made some of the best fighters there have to work really hard when they fought me, even though they were better than me. I would make them work hard because I would pressure. I might take breaks today, I don't know. I'm not 20 years old no more. You know what I'm saying? You'll see me in here doing the lives where I'll change up randomly what I'm doing. Because like I was talking about earlier, one of the things I'm trying to get myself to do is move my head off center line when I'm throwing strikes, trying to get harder to hit. I have to actively think about that to do it. Talking, it's hard to keep your breath. But yeah, I have to actively think about doing that to get myself to do it. And so when I start doing it, I usually slow it down. Less power, because I'm thinking about moving my head. Probably not quite doing it right, but I'm just trying to move it. Yeah, that's how I switch my stance. I'd be in the middle of fighting somebody. I'd just switch them up, sometimes in the middle of a combo. Or just randomly come out of range and I'll switch. Then they would usually switch and I'd switch back. You know, if I could tell that it confused them, I'll try to keep them on their toes. Waiting for mom to yell down and ask him if he wants some meatloaf. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's interesting. He said there's usually a setting on the camera to flip to normal. I will check that out later, okay? Actually, I might do it right before turning the live off to see if I can figure it out. Hey, new folks, hit subscribe, okay? We're having a fun time with these bags, and there are follow-along workouts that can be done as well. Follow along fitness kickboxing workouts is what's under my video section, the majority of it, and under a playlist called The Workouts. because I am making a few other types of videos too. So the lives, if you've been here for a while, know that these are just me working on the back, getting my own workout in. But also I get to talk to you guys. And I talk about techniques sometimes that have worked for me in the past in sparring. Well, I miss sparring. Sparring's a lot of fun. I need to get back into there. Instead of just banging on bags all the time, I want a sparring partner. I got a place I go to that does that kind of stuff, but it costs more money to do that than just going to their fitness kickboxing classes. But I might change it up soon, because I sure miss sparring. That was my favorite thing to do. So all that hesitation right there would have got me popped. So I didn't know what I wanted to throw next, you know what I mean? So I'll do that little hopping around. If you're not sure, get out, right? Don't just stand there like I did. If you're not sure what's going next, get out of range. Or clench, if that's one of the things you do. Clench, start throwing your knees. Which is great exercise, by the way. I don't usually practice spinning elbows when it's back. I think that's going to be a fun one. Let's try that. And it's possible, I might be able to spin back fist. I'm probably supposed to come and follow through, but I can't really do that on this back because I'll be jammed up. So I feel like I got to twist. You know, spinning back fist, I used to go around like that and then realize my foot's supposed to come up and spin all the way. But with the elbow, not too close, I can't do that, see? So elbow just, oh, cool. All right, a little bit of plyometrics, jump around kick. Great exercise. I don't know if there's any real use, but it's great exercise. I guess you could use it if somebody's trying to take out your foot or something, you know, if you only need a little hop. Somebody's trying to take out your foot, you can just clear it for the kick. But other than that, I can't really think of a real use other than exercise for the jump turning kick. But it's a lot of fun to do. It's a lot of exercise. Get your plyometric training in, your jump training. Catch my breath for a second. Everybody still doing good? Let's see, as I said, straight cross combo, adding kicks, punch after kick. Feel more comfortable to add? Yeah, you do what it feels comfortable. That's usually what I'm doing on here on the lives. Now sometimes, I was saying earlier, right? Sometimes I'll think up a combo to do. Like in the follow along workouts, I think up a combo for us to do again and again together. But on these, when I'm just training, sometimes I come up with a combo, right? But the majority of what I'm doing on here is just feeling what I'm gonna do, right? I don't think about it. I just go to the bag and do what feels right, do what comes to me. You know, I'm not thinking about what I'm doing here. I'm just going. All right? Because you shouldn't have to think about it. You should be able to just throw. Because in a real life situation or in a competitive situation, either one, you're probably not going to have time to do a whole lot of thinking about it when you're in the heat of it. You have to just go, right? What my old instructors used to say was think about it. Think about the things you should do before and after your sparring round, right? But not during. Because during, if you take the time to slow down and try to think about what to throw, you're going to be like, you got to be able to just flow. if you're in the heat of it. You gotta be able to just flow. So you think about things to do before and after, and it should come. You'll see some of those in your sparring round. I want to get one of those bob bags where it's person. Those are really good for spinning wheel kicks because, you know, it's got a head that moves. So you can come all the way through. This stops you, you know. I got the base now that Bob stood on, you know, the old school Wave Master, where you have to adjust the height, power line. Got one of those. Believe it or not, I guess somebody didn't use it because somebody put it out at the street. I was like, well, perfectly good bag. It seems completely unused when you feel the padding on it. The padding on it is stronger than the padding on this because this has been smacked so many times. So, still like this better because with this, you can practice your low kicks on the old school traditional Wave Masters. Their base is like up to here, right? Yeah. Yeah, their base is like up to here. Kind of hard to practice leg kicks on that. I mean, I guess you kind of can. You gotta make sure the high leg kicks like all the way up here, you know? And I think usually the leg kicks, you kind of want to, from what I've seen, I think they usually land them around here, just a little bit above the knee. Because that's what it looks like when I watch people in MMA do it. Very good. Whew. All right, let's get back to it. Get some exercise in there. Whew. Yeah, I'm not doing a whole lot of my footwork. I probably should. Throwing some round steps and some side steps. The round step, if you guys don't know round steps, the good thing about the round step, you take your back leg and you just move it like this. It's for say, if he's coming towards me, I'll move like this and let him go past me so I can smack him on the back of the head. So. You know, it's funny when some people half my age come in the chat and say, man, I can throw with more speed and power than you. Well, if you're training all the time and you're half my age, I sure hope so. You know, that's all I got to say about that. Especially because I'm usually not even going full power on these. Loose. Screw it back in. That's the flaw with the older XXL bags. There's no locking mechanism. Lock it in, it just screws. Sometimes you can knock it loose, you gotta screw it back in. I'm getting pretty close to the end of my workout time. I set the timer for an hour, we're almost there. I need to start working out earlier like this. I normally don't do my workout for another couple hours from now. This is better. I'm going to do it later. I don't feel like I have as much time. So I'm going to do it for 30 minutes. I need to start doing it for an hour. Catch a breath for a second. Whew. All right. We'll do some sit-ups. Still at least a little bit of core work. We sit ups and punch the bag. All right, that's too daisy. I'm approaching the end of this, getting real close. Make sure any of you new folks hit the subscribe, folks, okay? That'd be great. Good for you, buddy. I think this guy's just there to troll. That J dude, I don't mind though. Still a viewer. Whew. I wonder if some of you understand when you're throwing a kick. I probably did drop it. When you're throwing a kick, the backhand, the hand on the kicking side is supposed to pull. A lot of people don't realize that. And then it comes right back up. That's what you're supposed to do. And then the other one's supposed to stay by your head. So that's the correct when that pulls. Whew. I'm blast out a few side kicks. We're gonna wrap it up fairly soon. Whew. All right, I've got a good workout in here. So these kicks. Whoops. Up, upsy daisy. It's time to wind it down. It's time for me to wind it down. Hit subscribe. Do the follow along workouts. They're really good. When they work for you, whether you're slower than me or faster than me, doesn't matter. You make the workout your own. And those follow alongs, I tell you that in there. If you're some big bad pro, you can still get some benefit out of my workouts because you just go at your speed. You go at whatever speed works for you. Take less breaks than me if you're someone who needs less break. Or if you need more breaks, you take more breaks. If you need to slow it down, slow it down. You make the workout yours, no matter what your skill level is. That's what I tell everybody for the follow-on workouts. Whether you're a beginner or an elite, you can get something out of those exercise videos. Cast it to your TV and watch the follow-on workouts. I got some people that only like to do the 10-minute workouts. I have those videos for people as well. 10-minute quick fixes. Because I've had at least one person tell me that's all they're willing to do is about 10 minutes. I'm like, well, if that's all you're willing to do, I'll make a video for you. You know, because it's better than nothing. And maybe when you're ready, you start getting into the longer workouts. Because sometimes usually I think the first step to get people in the door for fitness, to get in shape again, is just to get started. You gotta get over that boundary where you just start. And then after that, the next hardest thing is staying consistent. Make sure you do it consistently. Whether you're doing martial arts on a bag to get in shape, or to practice your martial arts skills, or if you're going to the gym to lift weights, maybe run on the treadmill, whatever it is. It's all about being consistent and making sure you keep going back. All right, I'm gonna roll this bag out of the way. All right, I'm gonna start cooling down. I'm gonna do a cool down, a stretch, and then probably right before turning the live off, I want to see if I can find what that fellow was talking about earlier, how you can switch the camera where it's not mirrored anymore. Can you see my signs backwards? So this is mirrored. So right before I turn it off, I'm gonna look on there and see if I can find the button to switch it with the cameras correctly. Ninja Love from UK as well. All right, cool, everybody. Everybody, I'm glad you joined in. And always make sure at the end of your workouts, you do want to have a slight cool down. When your heart rate's safe, you want to stretch. I always want to stretch at the beginning of the workouts, you want ballistic stretching, like the leg swings I did earlier, stuff like that. Because static stretching sometimes can slow you down. So I usually save the static stretching for the end. I start with something simple like this. And I like to do it twice on both sides. You can put your hand on your knee to help support your back, or put both hands towards your ankle, towards the floor, wherever your flexibility is at. And I like to hold it for no less than 10 seconds aside. Holding it even longer is even better. Gotten where most of the time I don't really count my seconds anymore. I just kind of feel it out and guess. But the reason I do it twice is because you always feel the second time, oh, I'm lower the second time. So you get a better stretch if you do it at least twice. So that's what I like to do. All right, roll this bag out of the way just a little bit more. I'm gonna do the side split stretch. I know I can't do the splits, but I need to do this one more because I want to work towards getting lower. There was a time back closer to this time when I was still in Taekwondo school training, right? I've gotten this low to the floor before. Now I'm like more way up here. I'm way up higher now. I would love to get back down as low to the floor as I could back in the days when I was in my Taekwondo school, where I could get down to here and I was close. I ain't nowhere near that anymore. So I want to start doing the stretch more. So maybe next year I'll be down to there. We'll see. You never know. It might be harder to gain that flexibility when you get older. I'm not really sure, but I think the trick is to just be consistent and just do it. Right, because I'm way up there. My leg goes higher than that when I throw a kick. It's wild, I can kick higher than what I can stretch. This right here is a really good stretch on your hamstrings too. And the way people would usually do this in your martial art classes, you try to put your head to your knee from here. But I feel good enough just being in the stretch. Back to the middle. I like to wiggle my foot out there to try to make the stretch go farther. But you don't want to go too far past your discomfort range. You want to kind of just be where it's slightly discomfortable and just relax. All right, I'm going to walk it in. Actually, I'm going to go to the floor. One of my favorite stretches, child's pose. You're very good for your lower back. Stretch it out. I like to combine this with Cobra. Feels good to me having the back move in both directions. The Cobra is supposed to be for your core, for your stomach. Stretch your abs. It also feels good to be on the back if you do it right after child's pose. Child's pose being one of the most relaxing stretches that I can think of. Feels great. Got a little cat-cow. So cow, cat, middle of your spine, goes towards the ceiling. Cow, the cat, stretching away, cat stretch. Cow, cat. Neutral spine, okay. I'm gonna tell you folks, at the end of your workout, don't injure yourself at the very end, right? If you have any risk of a back issue, make sure you get up carefully. You step up and put your hand on your knee, whatever you need to do, come up carefully, okay? Don't hurt yourself at the end of your workout. Everybody, thanks for sticking around. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. How you doing, everybody? Oh, and something I was gonna try to do, let's get these bows off first. Somebody on the chat earlier said that there's a way to reverse it when it's not mirrored anymore. So I'm gonna press some buttons. and see what does that. Let's see here. I don't know what this button does. Let me press it. Highlight. No, that's not what I want to do. I think this is filters. I don't want to do that. Oh, that's weird. No, I don't want to do that. Turn that off. But, oh, nope, turn that off. Let's see here. That's just going to show the poster in the back of the wall. Nope, that did it, didn't it? Is it flipped? Yeah. No longer mirrored. My name is Chris. This channel is Martial Arts Fitness. I'm going to add USA to the end because that's my handle on here, Martial Arts Fitness USA. So it's going to be Martial Arts Fitness USA. I got to go change the channel name. Channel name right now is just Martial Arts Fitness. But hey, it flipped it, right? This side, it's no longer backwards. Am I correct? Right? It flipped. You can read it now. You too, buddy. All right. Well, cool. Well, I'm glad that I was told that I could flip my channel where it's not my camera where it's not mirrored anymore. You can tell, you know, I'm a growing YouTube channel since I didn't know something as basic as being able to flip my camera where it doesn't mirror it. That's great. That's great, everybody. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to wind it down here. I had a good workout. Worked out for an hour. It's pretty good. Got my good stretch in. I didn't even notice my timer beeping when I was over there stretching. So I had that set for an hour. I got to test my microphone, figured out the right place to put it. I put it right there on my shorts, and everybody seemed to be able to hear me just fine. That's very good. So a big shout out and thank you to the Hank Russell Imitation for bringing me this microphone equipment. Normally, you're just hearing me from the microphone on the phone. I imagine this probably sounds a lot better. I'm going to go back and rewatch it later and see how it sounds. Well, everybody, hit the subscribe button. Matter of fact, shout out to the Hank Russell Imitation Podcast. Maybe go follow him as well. A buddy of mine who brought over this microphone equipment, Hank Russell Imitation. You can follow him. He interviews a wide range of people through Zoom, but he interviews them on his podcast. So he's growing as well. He's a little smaller in my channel than I am, but he's learning fast and learning about all the equipment. Because he needs the equipment more than I do, because his is a sit-down podcast, and mine is, let me go kick and punch this back. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, folks, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all around. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. I'll see everybody later. Have a good day.